All right, welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Lloyd Ross, and I'm here to teach you all the things about money that you wish you learned in school. And this is something that I definitely didn't learn in school that I wish I had of. I did experience it, and you will hopefully have experienced it as well. But it wasn't like so clear cut at school, right? Didn't learn much about money at school. The one thing I did learn about money at school was this one thing, as in like it happened to me. I wasn't aware of it. It's not like there was a lesson on it. I caught some of it, and it wasn't until many, many years later that I realized that was probably the only thing about money that I did learn that helped me. And it happened in an English class of all places at school. They don't teach it, but it does happen, and it's like a secret cheat code to wealth creation and success. I'm not even saying wealth creation, it's just success. And it's something that's not really well understood, I would say, for most people who are looking to be successful. And that is mentorship. It's a strange, like mentorship. What does that mean? What does it look like? And it's the oldest way to teach. So it's the oldest way of learning, basically, I should say. The oldest way of learning. The human brain, it learns kinesthetically. That's just how it's designed. So it learns in an environment. So it learns through the movement of things. And it's like it doesn't learn very well from like rote learning out of books or auditory. It learns through kinesthetic touch and feel, and that's just how it's developed. And that's what's fascinating about how we all get taught these days through school, is that it's all like, it's just like rote learned. It's just brutal. When you get out into the real world, you realize that actually learning is something that you can success is something you can catch off someone else. So environment is stronger than willpower or work ethic. And environment is very powerful. And so in the old days before school, if you wanted to be like a blacksmith or whatever it was to help people solve problems in the community to give you paid, which is how business works and how money is created, then you would go and watch the blacksmith. And you would watch how he worked, and then you'd try it, and you'd make mistakes, and then he'd show you the way to do it, or she, and you'd do it, right? And so that's mentorship. And that's like internship, mentorship, that's how it's done. And none of this is really done at school or university, really, even, right? Like, it's just not, and that's the travesty of success, because the shortcut to success is modeling a mentor. And I think back to all the things that I've done. So that English class that I was talking about, the mentor happened to be at the time my English teacher. And you think of all of the wealth mentors in the world, that's definitely not an English teacher. But what happened was, at the very last class, before we left the school, he said, "Gentlemen, if you do anything when you leave this school, you must do two things. Read The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason, and read The Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki." And that was mentorship. That was wealth success mentorship, perfectly executed at the right time. So I went out and read those two books, and they formulated and created a great mindset for me in my late teens that really helped me. And if you had have taken all the lessons at school, reading, writing, mathematics, that's important, okay? But that one lesson for wealth creation was just priceless, right? It's something that it wasn't in the school curriculum, and it's not taught at school. It just so happened that particular teacher at that class decided to give some mentorship. I mean, I've always thought about that, and I think that's what I want to do for people. That's why this channel exists, so that you can get mentored, right? And that's why I mentor people. I've got a 12-month mentorship program, and it's so popular because people that do it are seeking it. They don't know how to make good decisions. They don't know answers to things. They want to accelerate the success, and they see the power and value in it, and they do accelerate the success by years and years and years. And so that is what I feel I've been called to do, because it doesn't exist in most people's lives. For me, growing up, I was fortunate to have a mentor in my dad. So he's my first millionaire mentor. I just did a 4-part interview series on my podcast, Money Grows on Trees. So go check it out. We might pop it in the show in the description so you can check it out. And I grew up with him and my mom, but mainly with him, with business, money, and it was like I got to see how he worked and what he did, and it was just like that. And my mum, so she has great money habits too, and I get to watch that. And I think that was really helpful in showing me, this is how hard work happens. This is how you shop. This is how I'm an entrepreneur, and this is how I'm taking risk, and I'm selling, and I'm not settling. And I saw all that stuff just on the sidelines, but it was never like he sat me down and said, "This is lesson number 1. I'm going to mentor you on this." It never happened like that, right? I had to make time to hang out with my dad, and my other siblings didn't do it. Like, they didn't hang out with him all the time, because I guess I had an interest in that. But mentorship is not something that you just get given. It's something that you earn or you buy. So those who haven't earned it yet, buy it. So they buy proximity to a mentor that can accelerate the success. Those who don't want to buy it, they've got to earn it. You got to earn your way to a mentor. And that's why being a mentor, people who earn their way to you, you help them. But people who haven't earned their way, they buy it. That's fine too, whatever the case may be. I've done both, and I still do both. Because there's certain mentors you want to get access to that you haven't earned your way to, you don't know, but that you were able to buy your way to them. So like I've bought my way to lots of mentors, right? Thousands of dollars I spent. I remember one time when we started our network marketing business, we were at an event and there was an auction at this event. And the auction was you got to sit for, I think it was an hour or a one-on-one catch up with the people that built to $1 million the fastest in the company. It was in Sydney. We only just kind of started. And I remember the auction went up and I was like, oh, what's it going to be? It's thousands of dollars. And no one bid. I was like, oh, $500. Yep. 1,000. Yep. And I was like, that's so cheap. $2,000. I put my hand up. Sold. So we bought $2,000 to sit for 3 hours, just 3 hours with this couple who built the fastest. And in that 3 hours, we learned so much about the industry of network marketing and how to build a business that it was so invaluable. But it only cost us $2,000 for 3 hours, right? So we've always been good at finding and investing in mentorship at the right times for what purpose we want to create. And so with my dad, I didn't pay him, but I earned my proximity to him. With others, we've paid. And I think of the likes of Gab. I talk about him as well in this book. And he was the one that said to me, you need to write a book. He was like, oh, man, that was a mentorship experience. He's like, you can do it. It was just like encouragement, belief, the idea, wonderful mentorship, right? Now, that's a good example of that. And then another mentor, David T.S. Wood. So we earned our way to him. He was T. Harv Ekker's #1 sales guy. He did $4 million in a day, of which he probably made $1 million. He was the best trainer for Peak Potentials, which is the fastest growing personal development company in the world, for T. Harv Eker, who's the author of Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And he was the best. And he's the best, arguably the best trainer I've ever seen. And so we went to 16, actually we just got back from Sydney to the 17th one of his events. So we earned our way to him by going to every one of his events. So we spent thousands of dollars to get to the events. Then we performed in our business, which gave us access to him. And then we've developed a friendship. I just played golf with him last Wednesday. And now we're in proximity to him, right? And I could, text him, call him up, if I needed help. But that was an experience where we earned it. And we earned it through paying to get the events and stuff. But that's how you get your way to a mentor. Now, why that's important is because when you have a mentor, what happens is they can provide you with the nuances and the things in between the core lessons and principles that actually accelerate you in the real world. And that's the difference, because they've been through all this experience. They know what works and what doesn't. And it's really practical and pragmatic, which means you can actually deploy those lessons they teach you and accelerate, okay? And I'm talking like accelerate massively. It was even in my job, I had a good mentor when I was working corporate real estate development. Matt Hardwick, his name was. He came from Macquarie Bank. He was a really good mentor to me because he taught me management. He taught me how to run meeting minutes. He taught me how to, show up, and he taught me how to manage a meeting was really good, I think. Yeah, just how to question things. He taught me that. And I was lucky to have him there as well, even in my job. So I think even if you're in a job, look for a good mentor. If you're outside a job and you're in business, look for a mentor. The fastest way to success is to model success. It's to actually model what already works. And too many people are trying to figure out all the stuff by themselves. You don't do that. You engage a mentor. There's mentors for everything. Like we had mentors in network marketing, helped us build a $1 million network marketing business, right? Which is awesome. And then even in our coaching business now, there's people that have done this in the past. There's people that have written books, right? As an author and a podcaster and a financial mentor and coach, we went to see what works and what doesn't and to accelerate the success. So we're always paying for proximity to mentors, to coaches, to events. And so I think if you're wanting to know how do you begin the mentorship program, as in like how you begin the mentorship experience with whatever you're doing, the very first step is to read a book. That is the first step. That's how I started. Because in my investing, I modeled Warren Buffett. He's a mentor with Charlie Munger. They're mentors in investing, but I read everything about them, watched everything about them. That's where you can do the same thing, but that's where it starts. It starts in a book, then it's probably a course, then it's probably an event of some sort, then it's maybe a personal coaching experience, and then you buy proximity to bigger things, and just find someone that's doing what you want to do, whether it be in wealth or this or that, and just engage them to model them, right? And that's how you accelerate. That's really how you speed things up. I think it's arguably, if you spent money on a mentor, it's worth more than a university degree. It really is. All my friends who have spent money to mentor others that haven't even gone to university, they make $1 million a year. Like, it's crazy how much of a cheat code it is, but how misunderstood it is. And so I think I wanted to do this lip because everything's already been figured out mostly. You just got to follow the tracks that have already been laid. You got to stand on shoulders of giants is the way to go. And I think all of the people of success in the past have done that well. And too many people, you might be in this category, you're trying to figure it all out yourself. Why? Why waste precious time? Just go straight to the source. I remember we were having a chat this week in an Entrepreneur Connect group on Wednesday night. There was a business charrette, and the guy's like, wow, how do I bring my sales coaching business to life? And the first thing I said was find the best in the industry, pay them for proximity and model them and get mentored by them. That makes so much sense. Got a friend of mine, he said to me, Lloyd, everything's already been done before. Let your ego go and go model success. I was like, that's fucking great advice. And that's what I want to impart to you. So if you don't have a mentor, get one. If you can't earn your way, buy proximity, okay? Tony Robbins talks about buying proximity. And I talk about it in my book, Money Buys Happiness. And buying proximity created $1 billion for him. $1 billion with a B. $1 billion. So if he's doing it, why aren't you doing it, right? Buy proximity, get hold of mentorship, and I think it's just going to be worth its weight in gold to you into the future, because the lessons you learn, they never disappear. They'll always be there. Plus, you have a relationship with someone that you love and aspire to be like for the rest of your life. And you've developed a wonderful friendship, and that's also priceless. So I think mentorship is the cheat code of success that not many people are using, and now you know about it, and I'm encouraging you to do it. Go for it, all right? Go get a mentor, all right? And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, well, hopefully I'm mentoring you through these videos. So if you subscribe, you'll get the next episode as it comes up, and share the video with someone who you feel like needs to be mentored in the area of money, wealth, investing, happiness, and so forth, right? Success, because that's what this channel aims to do, right? And so thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.